me romance. Read me romance. Read me romance. Read me romance. You could take a look in a book, that's fine, or you could sit back, relax, and unwind and read me romance. Read me romance.
Piping Hot Cocoa by Laura John. Narrated by Jack Wesley. Chapter 1. Ty. The last thing I wanted to do on a Friday night, the week before Christmas, was drive into the poshest neighborhood of the city to fix a broken shower faucet handle. Yet here I am. How come the dumbest shit always has to happen when I'm on call? Normally we wouldn't take a job like this at 11 o'clock at night, but the dude was willing to pay top dollar, and my dad wouldn't let me turn it down. I can't wait until the day he retires, and I'll be able to make the final calls. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening for a long while. At least the rich guy was smart enough to shut his water off, so I won't be walking into a flood zone. Giant houses line the streets as I follow the directions of my GPS app, which tells me to make a left into a pair of gaudy gates. Fucking rich people, I mumble under my breath, as I pull up to the call box before rolling down the window and hitting the call button. Yes? A deep, gravelly voice barks out and I grip my teeth. Normally a voice like that turns me on, but not when I'm being yelled at for doing absolutely nothing. I'm here to fix a broken shower handle. Your name? He grunts out, sounding annoyed that I'm ruining his night or something, when I'm the one who's actually being put out tonight. Ty with Hanson Plumbing, I say in the most professional voice I can muster at this moment, when all I really want to do is tell him to get fucked. You don't sound like the man I spoke to on the phone, he remarks with a frustrated sigh. Because I'm not, I inform him, about ready to lose my cool. What the fuck is up with this guy? But I'm the one on call tonight, so either let me in, or you can wait until tomorrow to get it fixed. The gate starts to open, but I hear him murmur something about watching my tone. I roll my eyes before putting the truck back into drive and following the long road to the house. I gasp while pulling up to the house. Holy shit. Whoever this guy is, he's loaded. I don't think I've ever seen a house this big. Hell, is it even called a house? More like a fucking mansion. I get out, grab my toolbox, along with a case containing the most commonly needed parts for the brand of shower faucet this guy said he has, then walk up to the door and press the doorbell. The door swings open, shaking the giant wreath that is attached, and the hottest man I've ever laid eyes on is standing there. He's tall, at least 6'4", with piercing forest green eyes. He's wearing a pair of gray sweats and a white shirt that clings to his muscular chest. His salt and pepper hair is a bit of a mess, like he's been running his fingers through it from all the stress the night has brought him. And his scowl is framed by a short, more gray than black beard that somehow makes him even sexier. Even looking as pissed off as he does right now, I'd still jump him in a heartbeat. I wonder if he's a guy to offer sex instead of cash. As much as my dad would kill me, I'd fucking accept. The bathroom is down the hall, first door on the left, the man barks, pointing in the direction of the mess. Hello to you too, I mumble under my breath, and he rolls his eyes. You're not here to make idle chit-chat. You're here to do a job. So get your sass down the hall and fix my fucking problem. He snaps before marching away. Jesus Christ, talk about a grumpy old man. Not that I think he's that old, but he's probably old enough to be my dad. Is it weird that I've always found older men way hotter? I shake my head as I head toward the bathroom, passing a massive Christmas tree on the way. What the fuck happened in here? I muse out loud. The bathroom looks fucked up. There's water pooled in the floor along with some towels to soak up some of the damage. A tile is cracked in the floor, and as I already was aware of, the handle is snapped off. I shake my head again before getting to work. I'm just about finished when the man enters the rather large bathroom. Are you done yet? He snips. I grind my teeth. I want to tell him to get fucked, but I also don't want him to leave a bad review. Almost, I grit out instead. Do you even know what you're doing? It shouldn't take this long, he complains, finally making me snap. Quickly, I stand and spin around. You have no idea how long it takes because you're not a fucking plumber, I roar. Now stop being a goddamn asshole and let me finish my job. Watch your tone, he snaps back. I take a step toward him, getting all up in his personal space, and snarl. Or what? Or I'll tan your ass. His voice has dropped, and his breathing has quickened. Fuck, I should not be turned on right now, but my cock straining against the zipper of my jeans tells a different story. Why the hell didn't I wear boxers tonight? Probably because I didn't think I'd be popping a boner on the job. And I'm not a big fan of underwear. You're a dick, I spit out. I'm about to turn so I can finish the job, but he grabs my arm to stop me. There is fire in his eyes as he glares at me, his nostrils flaring slightly. And you're a petulant child who needs better manners. What, and you think you can teach them to me? I sass back, with a lifted brow and a smirk. My voice is part challenge, part desperation for him to do just that. I've never come onto a customer before, even when they flirted. But something about this hunk of a man is making me break all my rules. He doesn't say anything else, just stares me down. I start to move out of his hold and grumble. That's what I thought. I'm about halfway turned back to my job when his hand squeezes harder around my wrist. Suddenly, I'm yanked hard enough to upset my balance. I start to stumble, but I'm caught around my middle. My back slams hard against the wall, his free hand having grabbed onto my other wrist and slamming them both against the wall on either side of my head. His body is pushed hard into mine, chest to chest and pelvis to pelvis. It's extremely apparent how turned on we both are, and I can't help how my pulse speeds up as he silently stares at me. Just as startlingly fast, his lips crash into mine, pressing just as firmly into me as his cock does. "Open," he growls, without his mouth moving away from mine, not even for a moment. Without even thinking about it, I immediately obey, so his tongue can plunge in to do battle with mine. I can't stop the desperate and needy moan that swells up out of my chest. He tastes so good, like coffee and bourbon. I think I could get drunk off it. He grinds into me, and I swear I can feel his already hard shaft grow even bigger. Fuck, he feels so good. We're practically dry humping against the wall when a dog's bark cuts through the noise of our heavy breathing and frenzied kisses. In a move just as startling and unexpected, the man breaks away and rushes out of the room. What the fuck just happened? I'm still frozen against the wall, but slowly lower my hands. My cock is painfully hard and pressed tight against my zipper. I can feel each one of the teeth digging into my shaft in a long row that travels the length of my shaft. My lack of underwear is causing them to bite into the tender flesh. It's the dueling sensations of pleasure and pain at the same time, all swirled together, each heightening the other, that makes my cock throb and pulse in my jeans. I take a few deep breaths while still leaning against the wall, just enough to get my thoughts under control, before pushing away from it to get back to work, because I have a job to do, and clearly the man isn't interested in finishing what we started. Turning back to the shower, I work as fast as possible while still doing an excellent job. At least he won't be able to leave a bad review on my plumbing skills. Chapter 2. Apollo. Ty is a snack, and someone I could easily see myself taking for the night, but there are things that I must do before I fuck him. However, the way he became putty in my hands almost had me saying, fuck it. I shake my head at how stupid I almost was. I have rules in place for a reason. Any man I sleep with must sign a non-disclosure agreement and give me a list of his limits. It's been far too long since I buried my dick into a juicy ass, and Ty's ass is fucking delectable. That's probably why I wasn't thinking straight. My cock is still hard from the short makeout session we had. If it hadn't been for my brother's dog barking, I don't know if I would have stopped. Probably not. It was a good thing Rufus started barking. The only good thing he's done since he's been here. That stupid fucking mutt is the reason Ty is even here in the first place. Calvin asked if I would give Rufus a bath while he was here, and like a dumbass I agreed, thinking it would be a piece of cake. Turns out the dog is afraid of water and snapped the fucking shower handle off as he tried to escape. Water was shooting everywhere, and I wanted to kill that mutt. Lucky for him, my anger cooled off by the time I found the main water shut off. I called 10 plumbers before one agreed to fix the problem in the middle of the night. I have a fucking life, and I am not waiting around all day tomorrow to get this problem fixed. I probably could have asked my personal assistant to sit at the house, but then who would get me stuff at the photo shoot tomorrow? No, this problem needed to be fixed tonight. When Hanson's Plumbing agreed to take the job, I was thankful. But I wasn't expecting the world's most delectable fucking boy to show up. And he's a mouthy brat, too. Exactly what I like. While I wait for Ty to finish what he's doing, I head to my office and grab a non-disclosure agreement. I always keep a folder full of blank ones, just in case. With it in hand, I head back out to the living room and pick up the book I was reading before Ty showed up. "Job's done," Ty states, startling me. "Here's the bill. We accept cash, checks, money transfers, and credit cards." He stares at me directly in the eyes, and damn, what that does to me. I hate timid men. I want someone who is going to battle with me for dominance. It makes finally taking control so much sweeter. I take the bill and act surprised at the number. "This seems a bit excessive," I mutter, and he rolls his eyes. "It's the same amount my dad quoted you. Are you always such a douche?" I clench my jaw, wanting so badly to pull him over my lap and make his ass the color of a tomato. "Are you always so mouthy?" I retort, and he smirks. "Damn right I am, especially when it comes to what I know and what I'm good at. That's just confidence. The rest of the time, well, what can I say? I'm a brat and fucking proud of it." "Is that so?" I question, with a raised brow as my cock stiffens, tenting the front of my sweats. Ty's eyes trail down, and he licks his lips at the sight. "I asked you a question," I growl out, and his eyes shoot back to mine. "Why do you want to know? Unless you're a brat tamer looking to fuck, it kind of seems like a moot point." I stand from my chair and step into his space. "Hard limits," I demand, and his eyes sparkle in a mischievous manner. "No bodily fluids except cum, no knives, no wax, and no blindfolds." He responds quickly. I nod, content with his list. Nothing I have running through my head is extreme, but I do plan on leaving my handprint on his ass. "What are yours?" he asks, and I mull it over for a second. "I don't bottom, and I'm in charge the entire time. If you want to dominate, I'm not the man for you. Aftercare is a must." He nods, seemingly accepting my limits. "What's your safe word?" I ask after a beat. "Let's just use the traffic light system," he suggests, and I nod. "Get on your knees," I demand, and he smirks again. "Oh, do you think I'm going to be that easy?" he asks, and I let out an almost maniacal laugh. "Of course not. But do know I will have you on your knees before the end of the night," I promise. "Hope you're ready to work for it, sir," he sasses with a wink, snapping my last resolve. I'm done playing games. "Sign this," I state firmly, handing him the non-disclosure agreement and a pen. He eyes me for a moment as if trying to figure out who I am, but eventually he shrugs and signs the paper. "I don't kiss and tell, but if this makes you feel better, here you go," he says, pushing the signed paper toward me. "Good to know," I reply, and place the paper on the small table next to my reading chair. When I turn back to the twink, he has a sexy smirk on his lips, and I'm desperate to kiss it away. Grabbing the back of his neck, I smash my lips to his, and he immediately moans. Fuck, I love how responsive he is. I'm a couple inches taller than him, of a broader build, and more heavily muscled. He's more of the understated strength type. Strong muscles, but more trim. The classic swimmer's body, and I'm betting flexible, too. I drag him along with me as I step backward toward my chair. Once the back of my knees hit the furniture, I sit and begin to undo his jeans. Naughty boy not wearing any underwear. I groan as his cock springs free. He nods as he pants, helping me get him out of his pants. Leaning forward, I give his cock a long, slow lick, and his head falls back as a needy mule slips past his lips. "So good," he whimpers. Instead of taking him farther into my mouth like he's probably thinking I will, I grab his wrists and pull him forward, bending him over my knees. "Fuck!" he gasps at the quick movement. "You're getting 40 hard smacks for your attitude. 10 for each time you sassed me tonight. That's 10 from your attitude over the intercom, 10 when you came in, 10 for in the bathroom, although that really should be 30 all on its own, and 10 for just now. Do you understand?" He nods and I growl. "Use your words or the number goes up," I warn. Do you fucking understand? Yes, sir, he groans, and I smile. Good boy. I praise him before bringing my hand down hard on his creamy ass. Jesus! He yells at the contact and brings his hand back to cover his ass. Hands on the floor. Each time you bring them back and get them in my way, I'll start over from the beginning. He mutters something under his breath that I don't make out, but puts his hands on the floor as directed. I continue to spank him, alternating cheeks and areas with each strike. I don't reprimand him for swearing. Frankly, it turns me on even more. I'm sure he can feel my rock-hard erection pressing firmly into his abs, but he doesn't grind against it, probably knowing I wouldn't allow it. As I get to the end, Ty's butt cheeks are a bright red, and he is a whimpering mess. Gently, I guide him to sit on my lap, spreading my legs so his tender ass doesn't have to make contact with a solid surface just yet. See, you can be a good boy, I whisper as I caress my thumb over his cheek. He nods, and I take a moment studying his face. Red, yellow, or green? I ask, wondering if I pushed him too far. He takes a deep breath, and his sly smirk returns. Green, he responds firmly, making my dick bob in my pants, demanding to be freed. Get on your knees and pull out my cock, I command. He lifts a brow in defiance, and I chuckle. Do you need more spankings? Maybe I should get my paddle, I suggest. And his eyes go wide as he shakes his head and drops to his knees between my legs. Reaching into my sweats, he grips my erection and gives it a firm squeeze. Put it in your mouth, I instruct firmly. And he grins before pulling my sweats down just enough to release my cock, tucking the band beneath my balls. Hurry up, or I'm not going to let you come tonight. He smiles as he looks up at me and licks his lips. Such a perfect brat. So fucking slowly, he licks me from balls to tip, and I let out a contented sigh. Good boy, I say, as I run my hand through his sandy brown hair. At those words, he takes me into his warm mouth and starts to suck. Shit, he's good at that. He continues to bob up and down on my cock, and when he takes me deep in his throat, I realize he doesn't have a gag reflex. Even though his mouth is full, it's obvious he's smiling around me, clearly amused at my shock. Tap my leg twice if it's too much, I state, as both my hands move to the back of his head. He pulls back for just a second and gives me the words I love to hear. Yes, sir. As soon as he takes me back in, I thrust up and push down on his head, fucking his lippy mouth. This is what your mouth is good for, I tell him, and the fire that I've loved since the moment he walked into my house returns to his eyes, and that look alone is almost enough to make me blow, but I hold off. I will not be coming until I'm buried in that perfect ass. After a few good thrusts, I let go of his head and lean back to reach over into the drawer of the table next to my chair. Ty eyes me as I pull out a bottle of lube and a condom. Always good to be prepared for anything, I tell him, and I swear he laughs around my dick, but he doesn't stop the blowjob. As he continues to suck me off, I squirt a dollop of lube onto my fingers and lean over him to press a finger to his perfect pucker. I can't wait to make you scream as I fuck you, I growl as I push my finger in. His moans fill the air, and I tap his shoulder, signaling for him to stop. Turn around on all fours, I instruct, and for the first time tonight, he doesn't fight me. Have you lost your attitude already? I goad him. I guess I'm a better brat tamer than I thought. Fuck you, he tosses over his shoulder, and I chuckle. Oh, I plan on it. I taunt him with a smug, almost sinister voice as I shove in another finger. God! He screams, bringing a smile to my lips. Close, but the name's Apollo, I tell him, as I scissor my fingers, getting his hole prepared for the assault it's about to take. I push in deep and move my fingers, looking for his prostate. I know I found it as he cries out. I continue to prod it, but his moans of pleasure are making it hard to keep my control. Shit, he stammers, and I'm done for. I need to be in him now. I pull my fingers out and he pouts, which is kind of adorable on him, and not something I'm normally into. As fast as humanly possible, I sheath my cock and press it to Ty's needy hole. Slowly, I push in, trying not to hurt him since I didn't spend extra time stretching him. I love your ass this color, I muse, as I fight the urge to thrust in hard and fast. He's so tight it's almost painful. I love it. Once I'm fully inside, I pause for a minute and reach out to stroke his cock. As I get to the head, I realize he's leaking, and I smile. "What a needy boy you are," I whisper, and he nods. "Please, I need to come," he begs, and I let go of his cock. "Not yet," I tell him, as I pull out just a bit before thrusting back in. His cries are a symphony to my ears. "God, your ass is perfect," I pant as I continue to thrust, not picking up speed just yet. "More," he begs. "More what?" I ask, wanting him to be specific. "Faster, harder, grab my cock. Everything," he pleads, and I smile. "Ask nicely," I tease, and he blows out a breath. "Please, sir. Please fuck me so hard I can't walk straight," he begs, and if words alone could make me blow, those would do it. I pick up speed and fuck him exactly how he wants, but stop after a minute. "What the fuck?" he screams as I flip him over and push his feet up by his head, before quickly thrusting back in. That shuts him up, and his head falls back. Again, I fuck him hard, holding nothing back, letting my inner animal out. My body starts to tingle, and I know it won't be long before I blow, so I grab his cock and start to stroke him. I match my pace with my thrusts, which turns Ty into a moaning mess. "Please, please, please," he begs, obviously wanting a release. I pick up the speed of my thrusts, and just before I'm about to blow, I command him to come. I squeeze his cock firmly and stroke furiously to help him obey. That does it, and he screams as he erupts. His ass squeezes my cock, and my orgasm follows suit. My cum fills the condom, and even though I'd love to see it leaking out of his ass, I don't know this man from Adam, so it's better to play it safe. It doesn't take long for us to come down from the orgasmic high, and I slowly pull out. "Don't move," I instruct, before rushing to my bedroom to grab some cream that's specifically for after spanking, and a warm, wet washcloth. Before I head back to the living room, I stop in the kitchen for a bottle of water and a chocolate bar. When I return, I gently clean up Ty's cock and chest, before rolling him to his side to apply the lotion. "Can you sit?" I ask, and he nods slowly, so I help him up. "Drink this," I order, handing him the opened bottle of water. "That was an intense orgasm," he whispers, looking a little wobbly, and I grin. "You should eat some of this. The sugar will help with the drop," I tell him, as I break off a chunk of the chocolate bar. He lets me slip the bite into his mouth, and his eyes start to flutter. Shit, he's dropping faster than I expected. "You should get some sleep. Are you okay with resting here?" I ask, and he nods slowly. I set the chocolate bar and water down, before scooping him into my arms and carrying him to a spare bedroom. Once he's tucked in, I kiss his forehead and return to grab the stuff I left on the floor. When I get back, he's fast asleep, and I smile before leaving him to rest. Chapter 3. Ty. I'm not sure what time it is when I wake, but the sun is shining brightly through a giant window. I blink a couple times before remembering where I am. Oh shit, I slept at a man's house that I don't even know. This is going to be an awkward walk of shame. I slip out of bed wishing Apollo would have been nice enough to bring my clothes here, but no dice. Slowly, I open the door and sneak down the hall to the living room. "Your clothes are on the chair," Apollo states, scaring the shit out of me. He's standing in the kitchen behind the island, with a shit-eating grin on his face as he sips his coffee. "Thanks," I murmur.
Did you enjoy yourself last night?
He asks, setting his coffee on the counter. I nod as I get dressed. Enjoy is almost an understatement. It was fucking mind-blowing.
I sent the money transfer to the email your father told me over the phone,
he states while walking toward me, and I nod, feeling a little awkward. He reaches around me and picks something up off the side table next to his chair.
Here's my card. If you ever want to play, give me a call.
I take the card and he walks away. That was probably the weirdest morning after I've ever had, but I shrug and head to the bathroom to collect my tools. Once I'm packed up, I head to my truck, and that's when I take a second to look at his card. My mouth falls open. Holy shit, I gasp. Apollo Dracos, the movie star, fucked me. I don't think I've ever been more thankful for a late-night call-out before. You can bet your ass I'll be calling him. Merry Christmas to me. This has been Piping Hot Cocoa by Laura John, narrated by Jack Wesley.
Read me romance, read me romance, read me romance, read me romance. You could take a look in a book, that's fine, or you could sit